What if the biggest threat to America's AI boom isn't the AI bubble itself? It's not the national debt. It's not even whether AI actually works. It's energy. Because America has made one enormous bet that AI will arrive fast enough to justify the hundreds of billions of dollars being spent on it today. And here's the problem. The technology is moving at incredible speed, but the infrastructure needed to power it is moving painfully slowly. And if those two speeds don't match, the AI boom could hit a wall. Let me show you why. In 2024, the biggest technology companies spent a little over $200 billion building AI infrastructure. In 2025, that number climbed toward $400 billion. And this year, companies are projecting more than $700 billion. That's an extraordinary amount of money. But here's the question nobody asks. Can America physically build enough power to support all of it? Because the real AI bet isn't simply whether AI works, it's whether we can deliver the AI future on time. And that's where things get interesting. Right now, two clocks are ticking. The first is the power clock. The second is the chip clock. And if those clocks fall out of sync, billions of dollars could be stranded. Let's start with the power clock. Wall Street loves the old saying, "Don't bet on the miners. Invest in the picks and shovels." In other words, instead of trying to guess which AI company wins, invest in the infrastructure underneath the boom. Data centers, power plants, transmission lines, transformers, but here's the problem. America is running out of picks and shovels. You can't simply build a giant data center and plug it into the grid. First, you have to get permission to connect it. That means entering something called an interconnection queue. Think of it like a waiting list for electricity. And in America's largest power grid, that waiting period has stretched from less than 2 years in 2008 to more than 8 years today. 8 years. Meanwhile, AI companies are planning infrastructure that needs power right now. And data centers aren't normal buildings. An office might use more electricity during the day and less at night. An AI data center can run around the clock. And America's data centers already consume more than 4% of the country's electricity. That number could rise dramatically over the next decade. So the demand is exploding, but the equipment needed to satisfy that demand is already constrained. Gas turbines are one example. Only a handful of manufacturers dominate the global market. Companies like GE Vernova have enormous order backlogs, with some equipment effectively sold out for years. Then you have transformers. Some large transformers now take more than 2 years to obtain. And new transmission lines can take more than 6 years to build because of permitting and regulatory delays. So this isn't one bottleneck, it's an entire supply chain moving slowly. AI is moving at Netflix speed, the infrastructure underneath it is moving at blockbuster speed. And the companies building AI are getting desperate. Some developers have reportedly paid tens of millions of dollars just to reserve future turbine capacity. Others are turning to unconventional solutions, including repurposing old aircraft engines to generate electricity. Think about how crazy that sounds. Companies building the future of artificial intelligence are searching for decades-old machinery just to keep the lights on. But here's where the problem becomes even bigger. You might say, fine, just build more power. And that's exactly what America is trying to do. But building power isn't instantaneous. Look at PJM, the largest electricity grid operator in America. It serves roughly 67 million people across 13 states. Every year, PJM holds a capacity auction. Basically, power plants promise to have electricity available when the grid needs it most. For years, this was incredibly cheap because American electricity demand barely grew. Then AI data centers arrived. Suddenly, electricity demand started rising much faster. The price of guaranteeing future power exploded. One auction went from roughly $29 per megawatt day to nearly $270. That's an increase of more than 800%. And the regional bill jumped from around $2.2 billion to $14.7 billion. But the biggest warning came later. In December 2025, PM couldn't secure enough power supply even after paying the maximum price allowed. That's the physical reality of this boom. Money cannot manufacture a gas turbine, transformer, or transmission line overnight. And eventually, someone has to pay for all this. A large portion of those costs flows through to electricity customers. So the AI boom isn't just affecting technology stocks. It's beginning to affect the cost of electricity itself. And that brings us to the second problem, the chip clock. Because underneath every AI data center are thousands of extremely expensive semiconductor chips. And these chips have a strange problem. They become obsolete incredibly quickly. A modern AI chip might remain economically competitive for only a few years before a newer generation arrives. But the infrastructure surrounding that chip can last for decades. That's a huge mismatch. Imagine spending billions building a power system designed to support AI hardware for 20 years, while the hardware itself may become outdated in 3, 4, or 5 years. And this creates another problem: depreciation. Companies have to estimate how long their servers and chips will remain useful. The longer they say those machines will last, the less depreciation they record each year. And that makes profits look higher. This became controversial when investor Michael Burry argued that some technology companies may be underestimating how quickly AI hardware becomes obsolete. He estimated that the industry could be understating depreciation by enormous amounts over the next few years. The companies disagree. And that's important, because even the technology companies themselves don't always agree on how long this equipment should remain useful. Amazon, for example, extended the useful life of some servers, then later moved some estimates back down. Meta moved in the opposite direction and extended the useful life of certain assets. Same industry, same rapidly changing technology. Different assumptions. And that's where the two clocks collide. The power infrastructure may take 5, 6, or even 8 years to build, but the chips powering that infrastructure may only remain economically cutting edge for 3 to 6 years. So what happens if the power finally arrives, but the chips that were supposed to use it are already outdated? That's the real risk. And there are already signs that projects aren't arriving on schedule. Goldman Sachs has found that historically, only around 72% of data center projects expected within the next year actually arrive on time. Under today's supply chain and labor constraints, that number could fall significantly. And Bloomberg's energy research has identified an even larger potential problem. By the early 2030s, the amount of power needed to support projected AI data center growth could exceed what America's existing infrastructure can realistically provide by a massive margin. And here's the twist. This isn't happening because AI is failing. It's happening because AI is succeeding. Data centers are driving a huge portion of America's electricity demand growth. Everyone wants AI. Everyone wants more computing power. Everyone wants the next generation of chips. The demand is real. But that success is creating the bottleneck. The better AI becomes, the more electricity it requires. And the faster AI improves, the faster older chips become obsolete. So success is pushing both clocks in opposite directions. Clock 1 says, we need more power, but infrastructure takes years. Clock 2 says, we need newer chips, but today's hardware may become obsolete before that infrastructure is fully built. And that creates the uncomfortable possibility that America could spend hundreds of billions of dollars building an AI future, only to discover that the physical infrastructure arrives too late to support the technology it was originally designed for. That's why I don't think the most important question is AI a bubble? The better question is, can the physical world keep up with the financial expectations of AI? Because Wall Street can create valuations overnight. Companies can announce trillion-dollar plans. Investors can move billions with a click. But you can't build a power plant with a click. You can't manufacture a transformer instantly. You can't create a transmission line overnight. And you can't stop a new generation of chips from making the previous generation less valuable. That's the real race. AI is moving at digital speed. Energy infrastructure is moving at physical speed. And the gap between those two could determine whether this AI boom becomes the foundation of the next economic era, or one of the most expensive overbuilds in modern history. If you want more deep finance and economic stories like this, subscribe to the channel. Because the biggest risks aren't always hiding in the headlines. Sometimes they're buried inside boring documents, electricity markets, supply chains, and accounting assumptions. And those are exactly the places worth watching. Because the AI boom doesn't necessarily need to fail to become a problem. It may only need to arrive too late.